Welcome to In My Lane, where we talk about life in general, science and faith issues, and the Christian faith in action. Today's lane is the Christian faith in action. Young people are flooding to the church, especially after Charlie Kirk's influence, and I'm super excited. So I wanted them and you to be clear on some key terms in the Christian faith because many people are new to it. So I want my first episode of In My Lane to be about the most important topic of all. That is the law and the gospel. What is the law? God's law is the do's and the don'ts, and God's gospel is his grace. This is going to be 3 episodes. The law is a curb, the law is a mirror, which shows us our sin, and we reach out for the gospel, and the law is a guide. You know, if you're in the Bonneville Salt Flats, there are no curbs. You're not free, you're lost without any sort of direction. And so God's law acts as a curb in our lives. You know, the 10 Commandments, don't murder, don't steal, don't lie, etc. The Big 10 are not that tough. You know, I'm not going to murder anybody. I'm not going to cheat on my wife. Now, it gets difficult when you talk about the lying and the coveting parts. Okay. But Jesus came, and in his Sermon on the Mount in Matthew 5, he narrowed the curbs to an impossible degree. He said to the Jews who followed the law of Moses, "You've heard it said, do not commit adultery, but I tell you, everyone who lusts after a woman has committed adultery. You've heard it said, love your neighbor and hate your enemy, but I tell you, love your enemies." These things are impossible to do. He narrowed the curbs so far that no one can satisfy the law. Why? Well, because he wants the bar to be perfection, because our Heavenly Father is perfect. And for us to be compatible with him, to live for eternity with him, we have to be perfect. He knows that by the works of the law, none of us can be perfect. But through the law comes knowledge of sin. And so when we look in God's law, we see the verdict that we're a sinner. And we have 2 options. We can reject that and say, who is God to judge me, especially my thought life? Or we can respond in contrition and feel sorry for our sin. So that's God's law as a curb, and a little bit of God's law as a mirror. We'll expand on the mirror and the gospel next time. So you know what to do. Go be a big brain and comment, and I'll see you next time in my lane.